Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We are so excited you're here.
We are.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Yes, by the time this video goes out, we are wishing that you all, or hoping that you all had a very happy New Year.
Yes.
A safe one.
A safe, happy New Year, and are looking forward to a fantastic 2025.
As we are.
As we are, yes. And the focus of this video is to focus on the main thing, kind of a 2024 reflection.
Yeah.
Guess what it is? Look at our hats. We've got our hats on, our Route 66 hats. You can't see the little
little magnets behind us. We have some little magnets on the window, but they're a little small. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to do a 2024 roundup with the route that basically was the primary focus of our year.
Yep. So we're going to talk about why we decided to do it, how we did it, like how we planned to do it. And then we'll cover our top three, bottom three, and we've got an announcement about how you can find out more.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
So let's jump right in.
Let's dive in. Yeah, so why did we even decide to do Route 66?
So why did we decide to do Route 66?
Well, part of it was, you know, we, in the time that we've been on the road, we spent a lot of time on the West and hadn't really ventured east.
Yeah.
And this was a way to guide that.
Yeah, this was to kind of break us out of, I guess, our comfort, our Western states.
Our Western bubble.
Our Western bubble, yeah. So we were just looking for a way to get a little further east. You know, we were planning to even, once we were finished with Route 66, do even some further eastern travel, but we had a pivot. We can throw a video up here for what happened basically after we finished Route 66 and went to the Grand Design Rally. So
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff happened there, so we'll throw those videos up here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think the reason was really to try to figure out how, you know, how could we kind of be, how could we have a guide, what did you say, an already planned guide?
I know. That's what's kind of nice about it.
That kind of moved us east. Because we started in the West. Because that's where we already were. You know, that's where we winter. So we started in California.
Yeah.
So it was easy to kind of use that as a guide to move us east.
And on that note of how we did it, the next thing is, how did we do that? How did we plan for that?
Well, we did a few things, right?
Yes.
We always use TripWizard.
Always.
I use TripWizard for all of our route planning.
Yeah.
I love that tool. We've used it from the beginning. So
She looks at it so much. It's so funny. Every time I look over, I look at her computer. Oh, look.
I'm always playing with a route because it's just fun to just play and kind of just, you know, just try to figure out what we're going to do. So anyway, we use that for this route, but I also did some Facebook groups. I always use Facebook groups to supplement our TripWizard. I like to go to like the Big Rig Friendly Facebook forums. There's a couple of them, and I'll just look in there for like the states that we're going to be traveling to and just find out what people are recommending. You know, where have they stayed? What do they like?
Yeah.
So we use that.
And that was helpful.
And that's always helpful.
Yeah.
Always helpful. And then the last thing I did was I just asked the Google.
Ask the Google.
Ask Jeeves? Nobody uses Ask Jeeves. Just Google search it.
And I basically said, what are the must-see stops along Route 66?
By state.
By state, yes. And then I created a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
and
of course.
And here's a picture of that spreadsheet.
And here's a picture of that.
So it's color coordinated. And yeah, and so so between those three things, TripWizard, the Facebook forums, and just asking the Google, that was really kind of how we did it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are affiliates with RVTripWizard, so we'll put a QR code up here on the right hand or wherever it goes on the screen, and you can get a discount for your first year, and you can have a 7-day trial of it. And we haven't done that video yet of you walking through, but she actually did a specific tutorial with a friend of ours, so she's really good.
Just recently. Just recently did a tutorial. Just a friend that's also here with us where we're wintering. She just came over and
brought her computer.
She brought her computer, and we put together a trip for her, and then she's able to now take that and run with it and do whatever she wants. So
yeah.
So yeah, we'll put the code up there, and maybe one of these days I'll do that video too.
So this video is going to go kind of like our other ones. We're going to go straight into our top three, bottom three of what we liked about Route 66. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we'll do, what we would have done differently.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then we'll make our announcement. So top 3 for Route 66, 2024.
I guess top 3 was, because we were already in the West, we started in Santa Monica and we worked our way east.
Yeah.
To Chicago.
Yeah.
And that just worked out well for us because, again, we winter in the West, usually in Arizona. So it was easy to just drive over to Southern California and get started from there.
Yeah, I mean, it really worked out well. And because well, if you don't know, our channel, one of the main focuses of our channel is to do campground reviews. So we are doing campground reviews for all of the campgrounds that we stayed in along Route 66. And so you'll see that in a playlist on our channel. Yeah. So the next thing in the top 3
was Springfield, Illinois. I mean, there were so many things, I think, that we saw and learned and just were so impressed by.
Totally.
As we did this. But Springfield, Illinois rises to the top.
Yeah.
I guess partly because of just all the Lincolns. I mean, there's some fantastic Lincoln museums and the library, and then the Lincoln Cemetery, and just it's just kind of like everything Lincoln there, right?
It's like, is there many other presidents? Yes, there are many other presidents.
so I mean, it was just a great stop just to learn about history.
Yeah.
If you're into history, especially if you're into Lincoln. That is a great place to be.
Yeah.
And then there was food. There was just a lot of things about that stop that I guess kind of had that one rising to the top.
Yeah, I mean, this was close to Chicago too. So I mean, we got to go. I mean, that was the final stop, right? So we got to go into Chicago and experience all the things there and get to the final end of the Route 66 route. Or actually, it's considered the beginning of Route 66.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the end for us because we went from west to
west to east, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And number 3.
Number 3 was the national parks. You wrote this. It's just big enough. It's just big enough and just far away.
Right.
That I can actually read that. Yeah. We were able to see 4 national parks.
Yeah.
Which again, we kind of planned that because that's kind of what drives us generally in our routing.
Yeah.
So. We were fortunate to be able to see 2 parks in Arizona, Petrified Forest and Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And then we saw, what else did we see? We saw the St. Louis Arch.
St. Louis Arch.
And then we saw, even though it's not in one of the states, it's close enough to Illinois to go over and see the Indiana Dunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never even heard of that park, so that was cool.
Yeah, I knew about it when I was doing the research, and I actually wasn't even sure we'd get over there, but we were able to do that in like a day.
Yeah.
So we got to see those national parks, so that was great.
That was really great.
Yeah.
Bottom 3.
Bottom 3, we have at the top of the list weather, and that's nothing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Mother Nature is what she is, right?
And she does what she does.
And she does what she does. And we just happened to pick, our timing going through here was during kind of tornado season, and so we dealt with our fair share of weather issues.
We are even more weather aware.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we talk about, I think, all of this in detail in either the campground reviews.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give too much away here, but yeah, weather was definitely
A thing. Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2, just, and we knew this going in. We had friends tell us, there's things that you miss because it's either closed, things that we didn't know
permanently
about.
closed.
Well, some things that are permanently closed, and some things that are just closed, when you try to visit it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think that, because you have to remember Route 66, it's a lot of kind of mom and pop shops. There's a lot of, kind of small businesses. And so, they close when they need to close. They open when they want to open. So they're not always open in the hours that you might expect them to be.
Yeah.
So there were some things that we missed, some things that were closed. That just is what it is.
Yeah. And we used an app to guide our route. I'll put a link to it down in the description. We used an app for that, and in the app it might say it's opened or it's closed or whatever. And while that is very well updated, some things could be hit or miss.
Because that update, just to that just to note that even more, that app was constantly being updated.
Constantly being updated.
Constantly being
Yeah.
updated. I mean, I'd open the app and here comes another update.
Yeah.
So someone is constantly working on that app. So I think it was a good app, and I think we named what it is, just the Ultimate Route 66 guide, right? So it was a good app.
Yeah.
And then the last
Number
thing
3
was, again, if you follow this channel, we work full time. So a lot of our time to explore the route had to be done on the weekends. So we filled up our weekends.
We did.
We would get up on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And we would drive kind of east of the city we were in, where the campground was. We usually put a limit of no more than 90 minutes. We tried to keep it around maybe 75 minutes. We drive out, and then we would meander our way back and stop at all the Route 66 stops.
Yeah.
We do that on Saturday, then we get up on Sunday, and we go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So maybe we would do, the opposite direction about an hour and a half, 75 minutes out, and then hit all the stops coming back.
Yeah.
So doing that from what?
February
to July. We were
worn out.
We were thankful that we finished.
We're like, woo, this Route 66.
We were really glad we were done, really, because we kind of got our weekend. I mean, we still have to explore on the weekends, but we just felt so compelled to get up and really get out there every weekend because we were trying to see as much as we could.
We got a lot of steps in, though, and that gave us the freedom to.
We saw a lot.
We saw
a ton.
so much, and you'll see here, but we really did see a lot and got some good food in, too.
Yeah.
All right, so...
No, we didn't say, I guess one of the top
Oh, yeah,
three.
one of the top 3.
We missed the top 3 because I didn't see it.
Because it's the number 4,
Because it's the number
too.
4.
Yeah.
But it was just the nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
Just all of the nostalgia
Americana.
and Americana you do have an opportunity to see.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's our top 3 and our bottom 3, or actually top 4 and our bottom 3. And then, what would we do differently next time, do you think? It's kind of weird. You almost have to experience it once and then think, oh, gee, how would I have,
kind of how would you do it differently? I mean, like I said, I Googled, the internet and tried to figure out what are the top things you just have to see. And we kind of let that be our guide. But what we might do differently is pick some things that we specifically like to do. For example, wine tasting. Or I like to take photos. So we might have found events in the cities along the route that focused on those things.
Yeah.
So just kind of just trying to find something.
Like a different theme.
A different theme. Maybe you might find an art class in every location we went to. Because Alicia likes to watercolor. So, kind of, I mean, in some things we happen to find, it's not like I didn't take photos. I got a chance to take some photos, but it wasn't focused on that.
Yeah.
So, maybe what we might do differently is pick a different kind of focus for the route.
Yeah. Yeah. And our announcement that I mentioned when we first opened up the video is that we have an ebook. We put, there's just so much to this experience that it would just be way too much for a video.
And our videos already can be a little long, as you know.
And thank you for hanging in there with us.
Thank you for watching.
We appreciate ya.
But we're trying to keep this one short.
Yeah.
So that you can go to the ebook where we have all the information.
Yeah.
All the campgrounds we stayed in, restaurants we stayed at, places we went to.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot of information about how you might approach doing Route 66.
Yeah. So the ebook is organized. The first part of the ebook is basically kind of telling the story a bit about Route 66, some resources to help you kind of get into the research of it, and then the whole appendix is what we did and where we went. And then there's some key areas in there. And so I would say something like about the weather and, some resources for that, what we did and how we did it and, how we navigated some of these things. So it's really chock full of some really great information. We're going to put a photo of the front cover of that up here, and then a link and a QR code link below and a QR code so that you can go straight to our the site that we're on is the Buy Me a Coffee site, and so it'll take you over there and you can pick up that ebook. But it was fun putting it together.
Yeah, it was fun even putting it. It was, The software was a little challenging.
Oh, Canva's horrible, but yeah. but it was fun.
It was fun just
Yeah.
kind of, you know, thinking about it.
Yes.
We kind of recapping the stuff that we
yes.
did. And, you know, and again, because we're, you know, our focus is big rig friendly, all the campgrounds we were in, you know, kind of obviously are big rig friendly.
That's right.
So we have all that information again in the ebook.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, you know, if you're thinking about Route 66
Yes.
In the coming year, you know, definitely think about picking up our ebook because it's got a lot of information.
Absolutely. And this is a great time to be planning because the 2026 year is the 100-year celebration of Route 66.
Yep.
And while we were out there, we saw cities preparing for that celebration.
Yep.
So it is going to be a party along Route 66 and one not to be missed. And so definitely pick up the ebook so that you can plan your route and see those experiences. You know, one thing I might even add to our bottom three, we missed Tulsa.
Oh yeah, there were places we didn't spend time or didn't get a chance to get to. So we even though we were in Oklahoma, we missed Tulsa.
Yeah.
So we would definitely like to go back there. And then we didn't even get to Kansas at all.
We didn't get to
Kansas.
Kansas.
Stretch of Route 66 that goes through the southwest corner, I guess, of Kansas.
Yeah.
We didn't get through there. And there was probably some other
Like Oatman and a couple of places in Arizona.
Flag. I mean, there was places we did not get to just because of, again, you know, dropping the RV in the campground and then only having weekends to really explore. If we, you know, had more time, we might have been able to get some of those places.
So if you're going to be out there in 2026, we might see you there.
Yeah, we're thinking about trying to get back
to Tulsa
to get back to a couple of places that we missed. So we haven't quite figured out when.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to try to do it on the 100-year. It'd be great to do it on the 100-year.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you should see some of the stuff. I mean, it's pretty exciting. Actually, the front cover of our book shows a little bit of that, but there's some cities that are out there really preparing for it, and it's really quite nice to see that. Anything else on Route 66 before we wrap up and talk about 2025?
No, I think that's it. I mean, anybody that questions, is it worth doing, or you know, is there stuff to see? Is there stuff, you know? Absolutely, yes, yes.
And yes.
I think there's, you know, if that's something that you're interested in that kind of nostalgia, American history. Yeah. It's definitely worth doing.
Yeah. You know, this isn't just our story. We met people out there that were from either New Zealand or Australia.
Oh, yeah, we met people from out of the country that were doing this. I mean, people love
Route 66. Yes.
So yes. I would say don't hesitate.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something that you're interested in.
Yeah. Well, we're going to show you a little quick video clip of the pins that we collected along the way. Plechette's going to insert that here, so you'll see some of the pins that we collected along the way.
One of the things we like to collect while we're out on the road are these little kind of lapel pins or pins, I guess. And so you can see here, Alicia and I have, this is my little pin organizer, but you can see I have kind of several here that are from our Route 66. Some of them actually say Route 66 on them, whereas others I know I purchased during the Route 66 travels. So that was one of the things that we enjoyed collecting while we were out on the road.
We have magnets, and of course we have our Route 66 passport guide. This is something that I talk about in the ebook too. You can pick that up and get your stamps in there. So definitely, it's like a coast-to-coast scavenger hunt. It's a lot of fun.
And Charlie would have participated. I mean, I know we have the picture at the top, but
yes,
he has his little neckerchief on,
yes,
just like we have our hats on.
Yes,
but he's, you know,
he's sort of into it.
He's 15, so he's not.
He's about as into it as he's gonna be.
Yeah, because he's sleeping right now and doesn't even know we're talking. So that's Route 66.
Yeah.
I think. What's ahead?
Yeah, what's ahead? So 2025, we've got some changes coming in our channel. We're going to take a little bit of a different approach to the way that we do our videos, so look out for that. In terms of campground reviews, we are kind of planned out through the middle of the year, and we've got some new things coming for that part, and then who knows what's next. 2025 is kind of open for us right now in terms of the latter part of the year, but we've got some nice things that are coming along the way.
Got some changes that we're still working out the details on, so we will definitely share as soon as we know.
Yes.
But for now, thank you for being with us and tuning in, listening. You know, we're working on a different kind of cadence, so that'll be part of what we're doing in 2025. So yeah, we just want to say thank you. And again, hope you all had a very safe and happy new year.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us. You can share that. We welcome you to like, subscribe. All that's free to support our channel. You can like, you can subscribe, you can share. All of that's free. And we have some other links that we'll put up here for the Buy Me a Coffee and other ways that you can share. If you look at any of our descriptions of our videos, you can see a whole section there of different ways that you can share to support our channel so that we can keep bringing you content that's useful for you. So thank you for being here, and we will see you
At the next stop.
at the next stop. It might even be on Route 66. Bye.
Bye.